Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe, and this one's been requested a few times, so finally got around to it. I got all my Nicol Bolases. We are playing a rotation-proof Ravnica only forward cards for a Grixis Midrange list. So Grixis is the color combination of blue, black, and red. So it gets most of its power from Nicol Bolas Dragon God. As you see, he's a fan of Jay-Z. The Rock is in the building. So Nicol Bolas has the ability of all other Planeswalkers. So you can activate any Planeswalker abilities while he's down, as long as those other Planeswalkers are on the field. +1, you draw a card, and each opponent exiles a card either from the battlefield or from their hand. -3 destroys a creature, and -8 opponent loses the game if they don't control a legendary permanent creature or planeswalker. The rest of the deck, this is the mid-range version, so a little bit more on the aggressive side as opposed to the pure Grixis control version. So what we have is Knight of Ebon Legion and Dreadhorde Butcher as our early attackers. So these both kind of scale to the late game. They get bigger. They can also serve as removal in a way, either through the death touch or through the ping damage. And then my other threat is I went Thief of Sanity over Legion Warboss. These are good on the ground. I feel like the flying, and there's a lot of green mid-range decks where Thief does a lot of work against. You get to cast their stuff, so if we can pull like a Nisa or something like that, it's quite beneficial for us. Then we have basically just a ton of removal. We have Legion's End for Escape Shift, Thought Erasure as Disruption, Angrath Rampage that forces them to sacrifice an artifact, creature, or planeswalker. So Black-Red has a lot of answers to planeswalkers that we don't have anymore with Vraska's Content that's going to be rotating. So we have these. We have Narset, which gives us some card advantage. Enter the God Eternals. This will gain us some life back, creates another creature. Mills, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Discovery is a way for us to get some card advantage, but also in a pinch we have the bounce ability. Bedeck Bedazzle is useful on both sides. It's either early removal, can be a cheeky pump spell with some of our creatures, and then the backside can deal with like Field of the Dead or Flip this Canta. And then I'm opting for 1 Liliana Dreadhorde General in the main. We have a Void that was previously 4 mana flip Nicol Bolas, so that's something we want to see play around. This might be better served as Chandra, because Chandra will have the sweep effect. That might be a little bit more useful since we're not playing any main board wipes outside of Legions and the single copy. So game 1 we're trying to be more aggressive, disrupt their plays, and then post board we have a lot more board wipes. The concern with this deck is going to be the mana base. So currently we have obviously the 4 shock lines, Steam Vents, Watery Graves, Blood Crypt. We have 4 Temple of Epiphanies. I'm playing 3 Dismal Backwaters and a Bloodfell Caves just to get a couple more duels. And I'm actually going to try out a Lotus Field. I don't know how good it's going to be in this deck, but we have a lot of double blue, double black, triple black, just a whole bunch of double colors. So the Lotus Field might be able to help smooth out our draw in that case. Also, we have a lot of 2 mana spells, so putting 2 mana and then playing the land isn't as bad. Sideboard wise, we have another Legion's End, we have an Elder Spell versus the Planeswalker matchups, Cryo Carnarium versus Scapeshift, Ashiok versus Kethis combo or Scapeshift, Unmoored Ego versus Kethis, Field of the Dead. Even against like Esper Control, it's not too bad. Ritualist Soot as a slightly bigger board wipe, another Enter the God Eternals against like mono red or something where we need a life gain, and then 2 Chandras against control, and also serves as a nice way to kind of put some pressure against slower decks. So that's pretty much the deck. We'll run it through a couple ranked games, see how it goes, and take it from there. So I'll probably come back later today with I'll probably play some Brawl, and then we'll do Abzan Aristocrats as our rotation-proof deck. Where are you, Nicol? So as we get started, we're live on Twitch right now, so if you ever want to know when we're going live, the easiest way is to follow on Twitch, sends you a little notification when we're live. Likely will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to some capacity. Will likely be around 6:30 Eastern until about 8. That I'll be able to do live stream, and then occasionally on the weekends, depending how it shapes up. All my content is available on my YouTube channel, mtg_joe. As soon as we're done playing it, it goes up on the channel. We're closing in on 1,000 subs. It is a pretty major accomplishment. If you can help me get to that last little push, we are, I think, 22 the last I checked away from the 1,000. We will be doing a giveaway at 1,000 subs. All existing subs will be entered. We'll give away some physical paper cards, mail it out. The last giveaway was for Liliana Dreadhorde General that we sent out. Joyce Senator out of the States took that one. But yeah, if you could, that'd be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to keep this hand. We have a Thought Erasure. This can help us dig into land. I would like an early threat. But between Thought Erasure and then Bedevil, if it's a Planeswalker deck, it's not too bad. Just looking at this hand, we're hitting a ton of mana symbols. This also is like the opposite of a budget deck. Like every card pretty much is a rare mythic. So Temple could be a couple things. Legion's End's not bad. Seeing that it might be a Scapeshift style deck. I need lands, so I can't be picky. So this is where it kind of gets awkward, where we have the Backwater, but we can't. Okay, so we got Field, so we probably have a turn. I think we just set up the Backwater this turn. The worst they do is they drop Elf this turn. This is Bandscape Shift. Guess they have Teferi. We have the Bedevil for it, so I'm not as concerned. And we have Legion's End main to deal with Fieldbird Dead, and we also have Bedazzle. So let's see what's hanging out in the opponent's hand. I'll probably get rid of the Scape Shift. At this point, that helps us hit our lands. So I'm not completely against it. Just have that inner tapped. Next turn we can Discovery first, see what we get. This isn't really doing too much right now, so I'm fine. Grixis for 2. So I'm going to Discovery first. Kinda don't want the Thief. I'm just gonna hit lands in their deck. Play out another Thought Erasure, see what their opponent drew. Ooh. That's actually pretty sweet. So what I'm going to be able to do next turn is Legion's End, both the Grixis, and then Angrath's Rampage the Teferi. And then that gets rid of some of their card draw. And then we're just setting up for a Liliana turn. We are falling a bit behind. Kind of wish we pulled off the Legion's End. Grazer coming down. Grazer's not bad, it gives us a target for this God Eternal. This makes the Rampage a bit worse. So maybe we get lucky, they have one more in hand. Okay, so they have another Field of the Dead. I'm just going to pass the turn. All this is going to do is force him to sack the Grazer. Yeah, there's quite a few ways, Quantum, to play Grixis. I was looking at potentially building more control.
I've got time.
With like Kefnet in it. Okay, so this should help him turn on the field. Us kind of falling behind on lands is hurting us. I'm gonna keep this. Liliana can start giving us some value. Here. Just gonna get rid of that Tef. So I might do God Eternals this turn to gain us some life. Get rid of like the Grazer. And then we can play Liliana. I want to be able to protect her. Opponent's sending us a message. Attacking with the Grazer. We do have Dreadhorde Butcher, which is actually not too bad for us. Might be a time wipe. So here... I think we just blow up one of their lands. Takes them off some mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curious as to what they have in hand. It's gotta be like a time wipe or a Deputy of Detention. So it might be better than to lead off with Liliana, because if they Deputy, then we can God Eternal it. Okay, so they get a zombie. Liliana can also give us a card draw, which we kind of need at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can pop this on Liliana too at this point. Ooh, I would love a Nicol Bolas. I'm more likely to draw a black source than a red source in our deck, so I want to keep it open for Angrath's Rampage. I doubt they play like Dovin's Veto. This will also likely get them to pop the Blast Zone. And then Liliana could come down. Okay, so we have a Thief. They get rid of a Boreal Grazer is actually pretty good. Thief can start attacking it.
Are never ending.
Interesting, they didn't power this up. They might just try to attack in. Okay, they go Roots. That'll get them 2 more zombies. Probably go Liliana and then use Nicol Bolas to uptick, create a zombie, gives us 2 blockers.
Do not defy me.
So we gain a life here. Okay, get him to sack 2. To sack 2, make a zombie.
Will volunteer.
And then that we could block 1.
Get out of my way!
We're not going to be able to beat Escape Shift. So I think having Liliana, or we need some sort of board wipe main. Maybe keep the Thieves in the sideboard and then play a couple Cryocarnariums main. Just do that switch. Opponent's taking their time. At 4, they're not hitting anything with Blast Zone. Gonna drop Thief next turn. Try to start attacking and milling them. If we can get lands out of the way. That's fine, that draws us a card. They're just replaying Rejuvenator.
From your death.
I can go Thief and Discovery. I want to save this for a Planeswalker. Oh, this doesn't target. I could have just done... It doesn't give him the option. Here...
Easy to find in war.
We can start taxing him, maybe. Oh, that's actually good. I'm just going to take out their Field of the Dead here.
Defiance and fury in my intellect is without limit.
Get rid of Fields. Here. I think we just set up our draw. Probably... I think I want more action. I'll keep the Bedevil, but I want some creatures to start attacking in. So we took them off Field of the Deads. They can attack in, but we're going to slowly start draining their resources. That was actually pretty good because this shows us 2 zombies. It's a little expensive in terms of like mana cost. But like in this matchup, we played 2 of it. We drew both at an opportune time. So let's make a zombie.
Rise and shine.
I'm gonna go Thief. Probably go Enter the God Eternals too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Conceivable.
Interesting.
Let
They go their
your
creature.
minds crumble.
That takes God Eternals off the board. We do have Bedevil open, unless we draw. Keeps us safer. I think we hold off a turn. We could keep the Bedevil open for anything other than Teferi. If they have Time Wipe, then it's fine. Even if they Deputy, say, any of our stuff, we can just Bedevil it. Yeah, so they're trying to go into the Blast Zone on Nicol Bolas. We have 2 more in hand. The Dragon comes in quads. Okay, so that's most of their turn. They go Roots. I haven't played Grixis since closed beta. And It feels good to be on this side of the Nicol Bolas. Far too much time I've spent. I just want this out of the way so Thief can attack in. Yeah. The fact we got game 1 without an actual board wipe is really good for us. Because now we bring in cries, rituals. We just kind of transform our whole deck. Coming out. So Rampage seems kind of bad. Shave down a Bedevil. God Eternals are bad. Liliana is okay. Probably shave down 1. Thief, probably don't need Thief. 4 cards. So we can go pure control. And I think that's right. They got a lot of early blockers for the Dreadhorde General. These at least can scale up, and it's a good play on turn 1. The rest of our deck is just straight removal. This also can get big enough to get around Cryocarnarium and Ritualist Soot. Do I want to keep a Liliana in? Just go big and basically play control. Let's run it like that. So stumbled a little on mana at the first, but our Planeswalkers carried us. And I think that's the direction I'm probably going to take the deck. Just do more control based. Yeah, there's quite a few cards that are good. Narset stops the card draw. Ashiok stops the searching. Nicol Bolas finds ways to exile the permanents, so if they're just dirtling. We took out their lands that game with Bedeck Bedazzle, and then without Field of the Deads, like, they basically just paid 4 mana to search for 2 lands and pass the turn, and we activated 2 Planeswalkers. And we're just going to attack him with a Thief of Sanity. This hand's not going to work. I'd like... what are the chances we hit a black spell? Or a black mana? Because we need like triple black. Oh, that's much worse. Alright. We're on the draw. We need a land. We got 2 discoveries. Let's hope for the best. Golos should be fine because there's enough removal in the deck. Like, I was playing a lot of Lotus Field. If you untap with Golos, you're pretty much dead. Like, I just cast Nexus of Fate for days. Alright. 1 time untapped land. 1 time untapped land. Discovery will help us find whatever other lands we need. We got a Legion's End to catch up.
Stand by and watch.
We just need that land.
Don't worry, I got this.
Interesting. We did not find that land. I think we're dead.
Here we go.
Like, you have to keep this hand, I think. Mull to 6, you have 3 2-mana spells, 2 of which can dig you 3 cards deep. Still have an opportunity, like, they haven't had a Field of the Dead come down. Growth Spiral. 2 Arboreal Grazers. Oh, Veil of Summer. go Liliana. It's a variance game. Like 24 lands. We've had 3 draw steps, haven't hit a land.
Here goes nothing.
The fact opponent hasn't hit field bodes well for us. It's something. So they have Veil of Summer, so I'm going to hold off on this Thought Erasure. I don't want to give them the card draw. Yeah, we're dead. Or actually... yeah, we're probably dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gets them 7 zombies, 14? No, we should be alive a turn. We could Legion's End. They're going mini scape shift. Oh no, but they have Veil. Yeah, we're dead. Unless we draw an untapped line and we do Cryocarnarium. If we get untapped line, Cryocarnarium gets around Veil. Gives us stuff hexproof, but it doesn't target. It's just a universal sweeper. They did keep field as a way to generate another zombie. We're like heavily dead, most likely, but they also didn't give themselves a lot of colored sources. Yeah, we're not dead just yet. Also, our opponent's playing slow, so just letting him go through the motions isn't too bad. Like, he searched 5 lands and it took him quite a while.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Mallow, Fendar, don't know their gender. Do you guys hear a kid, like, screaming in the background? I have my window open, and, like, my neighbor's child is just going nuts. It's just a little warm in the room. Okay, so they still have Veil up. One time untap land. Yeah! Okay, one sec, I'll close the window. Okay. So not too bad. They also blew their Veil, which means our Legion's End becomes a little bit more useful. It gives us another board clear. We're also at 9. Them not going a little bit bigger on that one could give us a chance to recover.
Might be a bad idea.
Get 2 zombies off that if they drew enough lines.
Beg for your life. It makes your nightmares.
It's kind of odd to bring in against us.
I leave you.
We don't do anything with...
My mind so desolate.
We don't search our library. If anything, this makes our Nicol Bolas have that same ability, which is actually kind of beneficial for us because we can exile their library and then try to hit some key cards. Probably Thought Erasure if they play the Grazer. Okay, so Lotus Field's not bad. Gets us up to Bolas. Or... how do I need to do this? Because Thought Erasure... so that lets me Thought Erasure. Lotus Field comes down, generates me 3 mana. Let's just fix up our draw. Yeah, neither of these are good right now. Yeah, no, it comes into field tapped, but it's more for next turn. I'm not going to be able to cast Bolas. So I can 2-spell next turn.
Let's try this.
Hopefully get them to commit a little bit more to the board. Oh, look, all our lands. So that takes us to 6. I would imagine they have a Veil. Why else not play out the Arboreal Grazer? Cycle to
Let's
Fairy.
slow this down. I'll protect you.
Get Zombos. That's interesting. I don't know why they don't play that. This opponent is playing so slow. They've used 10 more minutes than us. Sorry, opponent. And then we also get to untap and play Bolas. Did they fail to search? Anyone could pick up a tier 1 list. I think they either ran out of time or they didn't click stuff properly. Sometimes when you're doing big scape shifts, it's a little time consuming. Let's play... How long was that? Half an hour? Hopefully no... Let's play as something that's not a slow-playing scape shift player. Instantly get queued up against a slow-playing Kethis player. I must say though, the Kethis players are usually quite efficient. Alright, we will keep this hand. If we need to be aggressive, if we need to be defensive. Probably be aggressive. Hey, all I want is untap mana on 2. Mana we're off. I think this is the right play. This looks like Bant ramp. You want to keep him off the early drops. See, I'm playing blue-black. Aren't I supposed to always have turn 2 Thought Erasure on the draw? Second elf. I'll take a 4th land. Come on, trade your elf. Trade your elf. Come on. They trade their elf. So forcing them off the early ramp is good for us. I got a threat next turn and some card draw. Even if they drop... Probably gonna have Nisa next turn. Oh, I don't have double black, so I think that answers us. I don't think we want Dreadhorde at this point. I'm gonna keep the Backwater on top because it lets us play this, tap this turn, and then next turn I could enter the God Eternals. And then I can kill their land if they animate with Nisa. And then attack in. There's also just us bedeviling a Nisa, playing a tap line and then saying go. Come on, George. Oh, Cavalier. So we want a Nicol Bolas here. So we got Thought Erasure. Let's see what the opponent's working with. Jeez. Jeez. Trustani probably. Teferi. Probably Teferi. I want a Nicol Bolas. Well, that's a hand of magic cards. So they're just gonna refill. Problem 2 is... Actually, what I'm gonna do is bedevil this. They'll put Nisa on top, and then when I enter the God Eternals, I'll mill the Nisa back into their graveyard. I'm pretty dead, just based on them drawing like 5 cards and getting a bunch of ramp. So they put Nisa on top. And then we'll mill it with the God Eternal. I don't think it's worth attacking. Been seeing a bit more Bant ramp recently. Next turn, if we don't draw anything good, we got 2 pumps of the night. Or they just have it in hand.
Magnificent world.
Make a land. They have 6 mana available. They could trust Danny, get a bunch of other things. This also makes it so their future lines can trade profitably with us. Okay. The question here...
Spawn will be mine.
think we have to... So it's, do we destroy Trastani? Make their stuff smaller? I think Nisa provides a lot more long-term
Death's
value.
Master.
So they'll attack into Nicol Bolas. I'm just going to do some favorable blocks to keep some stuff off their board. But I think this one we're dead. I think we need the rituals main and I just want to have Nisas all day, every day. Elder Spell, Chandra, Ritual. Coming out. Do I want another God Eternal? It mills them a bit. This also cleans up some of the stuff. Legion's End doesn't do as much. Like, it's important for us to get... Actually, I don't think I want Elder Spell. It's a little narrow. Thief. It's okay. Nicol Bolas is good. That gets rid. Probably the Dreadhorde Butchers. They do come down with haste, though. Maybe a couple butchers in. Nah, but if we connect with a thief, it's just a lot more value. I don't think going ego is the right play here. Just a whole bunch of removal. Go bigger on our planeswalkers. Actually, Bedeck could probably come out. Play a God Eternal. And maybe just a Cryocarnarium. This is one of the matchups not having like Kaya's Wrath. Like in an Esper build's a little less effective. We will keep this. And I'm gonna go Knight into Thought Erasure. And now I am Grixising properly. And we have Discovery after. Bottom. Ooh. Let's see what our opponent's got. So here... This actually doesn't do much against us. The Teferi's probably a bigger tempo play. I don't think I want more lands. What is with this sound? I'm just gonna turn that off for now. It's doing a like buzzing noise. So here, I think we just start making this bigger. Aether Gust isn't going to do much against us right now. Yeah, it's weird audio. Okay, I'm going to reset the client after this. I don't think anyone wants to hear that. Ah, they got the baffling end. It's a nice answer for it. They have Veil. Let me hold up. Let me This is a way for us to deal with Nisa at 5 mana. That's each opponent. So not going to Liliana this turn. So I think we just force the Veil out of their hands this turn. Because this will get him to bounce the Nisa. It's actually not that good of an answer. I think we're just on the Liliana ride or die plan. Ooh, Bedevil's nice. So let's set up our draw. Cryocarnarium, Angrath, Rampage. I think we get rid of Cry. Keep the Rampage. Knight of Ebon. No, we want the land. You know what? Because I don't want to get the double Risen Reef. They're missing land drops, so I don't want to give them extra looks at lands. Okay, so Lotus Field. Ah, I screwed that up. I didn't leave open Bedevil. My mistake. I don't think this Lotus Field's that good in the deck. That was just like any other untapped land. Just gonna play a basic instead. So we'll have Liliana next turn at least. It'll start making zombies. Nisa will come down. But we have Bedevil for it.
Let us march into battle and make new comrades.
It's a very weird audio.
Smelly, but effective.
Let's see if our... So they can go Nisa. We can still block it, which is nice. We'll get a card draw out of it, and then we'll Bedevil. Want to dig for Bolas. Bolas will also be nice.
I will aid you.
Interesting. They opted to do that to protect, or do they have another spell?
The land shall conquer you.
They might have to Fairy to follow it up. Well, this doesn't tap for double mana. So I kind of like Liliana in the slot. And Narset will help us as well.
What a good, mindless minion.
What are you tapping weird for? Okay, give me 3 black. Get rid of you. And I think the play here is Thought Erasure. Ah. So here I'm a mana short. I forgot about the Aether Gust. Oh, snap. Okay, Okay, so they got Nisas for days. You can also go pretty big Hydrate Crisis. So we need this Lily to do some work. But their hand being triple Nisas.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
See if they attack in or they lose the mana.
Through this land, we are all connected.
It's actually not terrible. They'll be able to deal 7 to Liliana, but it doesn't kill her. It's 2.
The land fights for us.
And if we can draw into Ritualist Soot, then it just wipes their board. So she draws us a card.
Waste not, want not.
Chandra is also a live draw here. Ritual's the best because it deals with this Hydrate Crisis as well. So I think we lead off with Narset, trying to find the Ritual.
There are so many with thoughtfulness before action.
Doesn't really do much. We need to dig here. Why did it tap like that? We can't even Bedevil. Oh, that's stupid.
This looks like a fun new toy.
The mana base has been pretty bad this game. They might just opt to go face here. Keep it on top as well. Leafkin pops the land into play. It's 12, 17, 18. We can block 3 of it, so they have lethal if they attack.
Behold, nature's true power.
It's kind of hard to say, Quantum. Like, there's the Mardu land for Knights that comes into play untapped, and I'll tap just for Knights. Okay, well, they're just overkilling now. Alright, so that was a game where our mana base kicked our ass. So 1-1 with the deck. Betscape Shift. This Bant Ramp deck seems a little tough, not being able to interact. Something like Vraska's Contempt is usually pretty good, but just not being able to consistently cast our spells on curve. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm going to go eat some dinner, and then I'll come back and we'll finish some Brawl. Play that Fairy Schemes deck. Anyways, thanks to those who tuned in live, and if you missed any part, I'll have this uploaded to YouTube either later tonight or tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great one.